My name is Lillian Aero Olok. I'm a social worker by profession. I love working in the community. When I gave birth in October in 2000, it was a baby girl. I was 16 years old. That qualifies me to become a child mother. So teenage mother, definitely. I had to look for all possible ways of fending for my child. So all those experiences of life were all contributing towards my, I didn't know that it would shape the future of what is yet to come ahead of me. Then later on, my stepbrothers came in and asked me if I'm willing to go back to school. How old was I at that time? I was 20 years of age. My daughter is 3 years and I'm 20 years old. So they asked me if I'm willing to go back to school. And then because I was inspired by the people that I would work with and stay around and work in their homes, I was inspired by them. I told my stepbrother, yes, I want to go back to school. I was given a chance to go back to school. This was the only opportunity for me to show that yes, I can. And that is the birth of Atwero, one of the organizations that we are working with. Atwero means I can. I sat in that class and studied for the whole year, completed my senior one, passed very well, and my brothers were like, okay, we are going to take you back to Kampala and you're going to live with your stepmom, because I'd left my daughter in the hands of my stepmom, a very, very loving and caring woman who embraced us without any challenges. I studied, completed my O-level, and then came to A-level. And at the time that I was studying, my girl was also going to school. My stepbrothers were paying for me and paying for my daughter as well in school. So imagine, I have even pictures of me, my daughter coming to school and visiting me, and I had my nephew on one side and my daughter on one side, and I was in a full school uniform. I wasn't ashamed of who I was, because that is who I was. When I completed my O-level, my family, my stepbrothers and my stepmom told me I should branch off and go and do a hotel management course or find any other course, because my elder sister, who is my stepsister, had gone and done nursing and she was thriving in that area. I told them, no, I'm not about to branch off and go and do a course that I feel I'm not ready for. I want to go do my A-level, complete my high school, and join the university. There was something good that was coming along the way for me. So here comes an organization, Educate, and it was empowering teenagers in high school in entrepreneurship. They were mentoring us and also helping us in our leadership career. Now, this program was a spark of Namugongo Good Samaritan organization. When Educate came, I told my mentor, who was attached to my school, that I have this group of women. And my mentor told me, you know what? You can not only, these women were working in stone quarries and they were mining stones, breaking down those huge rocks into smaller stones. And what were they earning per day? They were only earning, if they sold, they were earning less than $2 in a day. My mentor told me, this is not enough for these women, Lillian. They don't have anything to put into their mouth. They don't have money to pay for their children in school. Can you do something? Then I told him, the only thing that I know how to do is the paper beads. That is what I know how to do. And he's like, well, you have already a skill that you can transfer to these women. So how do you want to do it? Then I'm like, you know what? I have to go back to the women and ask them what they want. If they're interested in making the paper beads, I'm willing to work with them, and then we find a market. I went back the next Sunday. I go to the community and tell the women, okay, Now you're working in the stone quarry, you're not earning enough. How about if we do something different? How about if I train you how to make these beads that I'm making? They were willing to learn, so I taught the ladies how to make the paper beads. Teaching them how to make the paper beads, 1 week later, I go back to the community and I find the ladies have made beautiful necklaces, beautiful bracelets. I carry them and bring them with all the excitement in me. Oh my God, I've achieved something. I bring them to my mentor, and my mentor carries them and takes them to the organization where he was coming from. And then the Americans who were running that organization at that time bought all the products. And now that is where our first income came from Namugongo Good Samaritan Women. That was our very first income. I remember they bought the products and it was 30,000 Uganda shillings. It was like, I can't believe that this is happening to me right now. I can't believe that we've sold the beads and this is how much we have managed to earn. Now, on coming back, my mentor came back with one of the administrators of the organization. So at that time, she was the CEO, the team leader. She came to the school and she wanted to prove if really I was making the products. She even gave me a challenge to cut the papers in front of her, roll them, and she gave me the materials and I did the whole work in front of her. And she's like, no, I'm not yet satisfied. Take me to the community of these women that you are working with. So I took her to the community and she saw the ladies. At that time, I only had 5. So we made products and she gave me an order. Now we are moving from 30,000 and it was a sharp rise. They ordered products, which was 100 different products, and it earned us 777,000 Uganda shillings, from 30,000 to 777,000 Uganda shillings. I was like, no, it's not happening. They were like, yes, it is happening. And I remember we met at by then ShopRite around in the central downtown, and she counted the money, handed it over to me. I was shaking handling that kind of amount of money. I'd never handled it. My school fees was not even worth 777,000 Uganda shillings at that time. So I carried the money, came back to the community, distributed to the ladies, and I remained with the profits, part of the money that would help us to buy more materials. So that is how Namugongo Good Samaritan organization was birthed. My story alone, seeing, I love making money. That is everyone's. However, the making money bit of it comes like the third item on my list. The first is I love my community. I love to empower my community. I want to solve the problem that is in my community using the available resources that is in my community. Because we might not be able to build a whole big factory at the moment, but it's a step by step. We start small and then we grow big. So with a start where we started from, right now we are working with over 300 women. Those are the women who are in crafts, over 300 women. But then we have the 250 women who are working in the shea butter. They are doing the collecting, they are doing the sorting, they are doing the processing of the shea butter in Atiak, in the different 7 parishes of Atiak County. So working with the community and solving the problem of empowering women to be financially empowered and also the community to be financially empowered, that is one thing that drives me. Because I saw my mom struggling. I did myself walk into that same shoe of struggling. So I want to see if there is something that I can do to create jobs I want to do it and create the jobs. 2, I want to protect my environment. To protect, so everything that I do is about how does it benefit the environment. 1 is how does it benefit the community. 2 is how does it benefit the environment that we live in. If we collect the shea nuts and we do not cut down the trees of the shea butter and the shea nuts, which means we are conserving the indigenous trees of the shea nuts. And we are going to be earning from these trees for generations and generations. These are trees that we found our great parents have already planted. Why would we cut them down? Because we want to make charcoal or make timber out of it. And yet we can always be earning from the fruits every other year, and it will be promoting our culture and conserving our own cultures. That is the second one. Now, the profit bit of it. There is no one who does not need money in their pockets. Everything that drives us, everything is rotating around money, 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 money. If the trees and the papers and the fabric is recycled, the banana fibers are all recycled, it makes a product that is sold. And these products represent us, okay? When it represents us, it makes us money. And the money does not only benefit us, it benefits the women. So imagine one woman right now, like I said in my previous story about the women, if one woman right now, say, is earning an average of 300,000 per shipment, and we are doing monthly shipments, and they're earning 300,000 per shipment, okay? That money is not only supporting this woman. This woman has about 6 or even more. In a typical African family, we are always between 6 and 15 in one house. So imagine the people who are benefiting in that household directly. And then we have the transport guys. We have the people who sell food in the communities. We have the houses that the women are renting. We have the people in the hospital. The schools are benefiting. How much impact are we creating with just the woman earning that 300,000 from the crafts that they make? I'm picking out the crafts because I cannot, right now I may not be able to quantify how much shea butter these women can make. But at least we can make 5 tons in a month for shea butter, but we cannot distribute it down to the last person how much shea butter or how much they may be earning from all the shea butter, because everyone earns according to how much they are selling to us. So only that, you find that we are impacting thousands of life in just the 2 decades that we've been in existence. We've impacted thousands of lives, or let me say millions of lives, because we have the landlords benefiting from these people, we have the schools benefiting from these ladies, we have the hospitals benefiting from the ladies, we have the transport system benefiting from the ladies, the telecom communication companies benefiting from these small ladies who are making the paper beads, the crafts that they are making. So that is one thing that keeps me awake every single day. How do I impact? How do I create change? How do I conserve my culture? How do I sustain how do I contribute to my economy? Paying taxes, paying NSSF, paying the different, because if we export, we are creating jobs for Export Promotional Board. We are creating jobs for the Ministry of Trade. We are creating jobs for so many people because we are exporting. Let me say the little that we are exporting. We are not yet there at shipping containers, but we are getting there. Because right now, our main dream is to make sure that we move into the East African trade-free zone. And we have started it. we've started with we already started doing the East African region, and we are available in Tanzania. We have our shea butter there. In Kenya, we send there our shea butter. In Rwanda, we send our shea butter. TBN has been a very, very good platform for my growth and also for the change of everything. TBN came in at a point where I was almost giving up. Let me say I'd given up when COVID hit. We were starting already to ship like in 5, let me say, okay, if I say 5 boxes, so that is around 150, 200, 250 kilograms of products into the US. When COVID hit, one of my clients passed on from Chicago, which was a blow for me, and she was a big buyer. The second one, she closed off her business because of COVID and all those other issues. She closed off her business, and then we had gone back to square zero, like we were on zero. And then COVID comes in. The ladies are looking at me. They need money to support their families. This is a business that I was doing, and I know in the morning I wake up, go into the communities, I have an order coming in, and we are working on an order, we are working with the ladies, training the ladies, doing all this, and then all of a sudden everything just cripples down, poof, at once. And then COVID comes in, and there is nowhere you're going to start from, there is no travels, there is nothing. Then I see on WhatsApp someone recommends me for TBN, and I'm like, now training, how are they really going to help me in this situation where I feel I've lost hope completely? And I had started up a small restaurant just to make, because I'm an entrepreneur, so I always look for solutions and ways of generating income. I started up a small restaurant in the community to make sure that I make money that can support my family, because Namugongo Good Samaritan is no longer bringing in the money that it was bringing in, so I had to find ways of bringing in money. So we start off with not discovering yourself, this character traits and all those things, and I'm like, now how is this really going to how is it connected with TBN? That is when I started realizing, okay, this is what is standing out for me. Online marketing. In this era of COVID, everyone is moving on to the online marketing. What am I doing with my social media pages? I have a LinkedIn page. Am I using it? I have a YouTube channel. Am I using it? I have a Facebook page. Am I using it to market my products, or I'm just using it just to put their posts that are irrelevant to my business? At one point I had the business bank account, but because everything went down, it was closed, and I was mixing my finances with the business finances, and everything was just a mess. I didn't have structures and systems in place, because I felt everything was moving fine and I did not see the use. But with TBN, I was woken up and I'm like, okay, if I am to scale and I'm to move forward and I'm to move from my pity party level where I am right now and crawl out of this pit that I'm in right now, I have to put systems in place. Most of us fail not because we are not making money, but we do not know how to separate and track the different incomes that come in, or how we are spending our money, or what is in stock, or what is in assets. Everything that we do with the women in the communities, with the team, we make sure that our products are of standard and they can compete favorably in the international market.